Hey everybody, welcome back to Beginner's Dinners. My name is Logan, and today we are making one of my favorites, chicken parm. This is something I love to make for people when they come over. You know, it's chicken, it's cheese, it's pasta, it's sauce. Who doesn't love that? It impresses people, and honestly, it's super easy. I don't make it the authentic way for sure, but it tastes amazing, so let me show you how I do it. So first things first, ingredients. First I have 4 chicken breasts that I've pounded out really thin in this bag. Then I've got a box of spaghetti. We have 2 eggs, one of which is trying to roll away. Italian style breadcrumbs, I think they have a little more flavor than plain. We've got some sort of pasta sauce. I like vodka sauce, but you can make your own or do whatever you'd like. Flour, and then 2 types of cheese. We have Parmesan and mozzarella. All right, so the first step is to go ahead and bread the chicken. So I've got 3 containers here, one with flour, one with eggs, and one with both breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. I forgot to show adding the Parmesan cheese, but there's about 1/4 cup in there. Now, a lot of people will put their salt and their seasonings in their flour and things like that. I don't think the chicken gets salty enough, so I salt it beforehand, and then I'll start the process. So first we'll dip it in flour. I just try to coat every side evenly and then shake it off. We'll then put it in the egg, make sure all of it's coated, and also kind of let that drain before we put it in the breadcrumbs. And lastly, we'll put it in the breadcrumbs. I like to take, and you're supposed to use one hand for wet ingredients, one for dry. I'm really bad at that, so I kind of just get both of my hands messy. But I just coat both sides, toss some up over top. The thing that I've been taught is that if you can kind of press the breadcrumbs into the chicken, you get a better crust, you get a better breading. And so you'll see me doing that here, pressing them into the chicken several times before I take it out. And this is what it looks like when you're done. So I'll go ahead and I'll put this down, and basically you just want to repeat this process for however many pieces of chicken you want to do. In this case, I think I'm going to do 4. All right, so my favorite part is frying the chicken. We're really not trying to fully cook the chicken here. This is all gonna bake later. We're just kind of trying to get a nice crust on the chicken at this point. So what I've got is a nice big stainless steel pan that I've put some avocado oil in. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. I think avocado or vegetable or olive oil can be used, but you'll wanna try to use non-extra virgin. That tends to have a higher smoke point. But I'm just gonna drop my chicken in and let it sit for just a few minutes. When it's nice and golden brown on the other side is when you'll wanna go ahead and turn it. And that's what it looks like with that lovely brown crust after it's been turned. So once that second side has gotten nice and golden brown, you can go ahead and remove it from the pan and repeat with however many other pieces of chicken you have, and then we'll go ahead and prep it to go in the oven now. So the first step is to add the sauce. And like I said, this is nowhere near a traditional recipe. Like I said, I like vodka sauce. I like the creaminess and the tanginess, the combination of kind of like it's a tomato sauce, but with a little bit more creaminess. And so I spread that over with a basting brush and just kind of get even coverage there. Then I will sprinkle it with lots of mozzarella. This is my favorite part. I tend to put a lot on. You put as much as you're comfortable with. And then lastly, I like to add a little Parmesan on top as well. So into the oven it goes. I've got my oven at 450 degrees, and you just want to bake it until the chicken is at 165 and completely cooked. Then we're gonna go ahead and boil our pasta in the meantime. This is a little trick somebody taught me to kind of twist the pasta and let it fall. It kind of keeps it from sticking together in one big clump. I'm not always good at it, but luckily here it kind of worked out, and I just let that fall into the water as it starts to cook. I like to let it boil for about 8 minutes or until it's al dente. Just check it by tasting a piece of spaghetti. And then once it's finished, I go ahead and drain it off in the sink. I actually learned to add, once it's been drained, a little bit of olive oil and pepper to the spaghetti. The olive oil kind of keeps it from sticking. I do add extra virgin in this case, and I just like a little bit of pepper on mine. So you don't have to add these, but I love to do this after my spaghetti is finished. So we'll check our chicken. It's looking good in there. I do like to turn the broiler on at the last minute. I have to keep an eye on it, but it kind of gets that nice browning on the top, and I think it takes it to the next level. To me, that's the secret to making this dish look really good. And we'll pull it out of the oven now, and it looks amazing. So let's get it plated up. So I've got a little bit of spaghetti here, and I'll go ahead and add some of the other sauce we didn't use onto the spaghetti directly. And then we'll go ahead and put one of our pieces of chicken over here on the side. I also like to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese and also some parsley. I think that just kind of elevates the look as well. Not to say that this is a beautiful dish with the way I've cooked it, but I think it makes it look just a little bit fancier. But of course, the most important part is how does it taste? So we'll go ahead and give it a taste now. Let's see. Perfect.